What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. My name is Oe. I got Dustin with me once again. We're gonna be reviewing episode 6 and episode 7 of The Last of Us because I wasn't able to. We shot a review for episode 6. I wasn't able to, get around to editing it, so we're just gonna combine a little bit of episode 6 and episode 7 in this review. So yeah, quick recap of what we thought of episode 6. I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot. I knew after episode 5 and that explosive ending, we were going to get a slower episode. And yeah, I enjoyed it. We delved into the psyche of Joel, and Pedro Pascal had a phenomenal performance. I liked the setting. I liked the reunion with Tommy and all that. And it was just an overall great acting on all parts, including Bella Ramsey. I just overall loved episode 6. It's probably my second favorite episode. Not a lot of action, but I enjoyed the hell out of it, to be honest with you, which is not the same thing I could say for episode 7, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, what's your quick thoughts on episode
Yeah,
6
let's
so
talk
far,
about
Dustin?
episode 6, the one that you liked. This is the second in a row between episode 5 and episode 6. That was really good. I liked it. Like I said, I like the performances. I agree with you on that. I love the change of sceneries. We had the winter setting, and then we had the town setting of Jackson, and then we went to Eastern Colorado,
Yeah,
right?
somewhere in like yeah, something
The
like that.
university.
Yeah, it
So
was
they
some
didn't
university.
dwell a long time in one sitting in one area. They moved it along, reuniting with Tommy and seeing a whole different community living outside the QZs and all that stuff. Very interesting way of life out there. Like I said, not a lot of action, but it moved the story along very well,
Yeah,
very very well.
you know me. One of my major complaints of the show has been the lack of action and violence, which is a
Mhm.
heavy part of the video game. But yeah, even though episode 6 they skipped out on a lot of action scenes that happened in the game, I enjoyed that episode a lot. Like you said, a lot of great settings. We were constantly moving and seeing new settings and stuff. I just like the
Yeah,
backdrop. Beautiful cinematography too, like the
it
real
was.
landscapes as they're traversing through Wyoming, Colorado, wherever the hell they were. So
Yeah, great relationship conflicts between all the characters. Even Tommy gets into it, and his wife gets into it, and all that stuff. So it was pretty good. It's pretty good character, a character episode, I guess would you call it,
yeah,
compared to an action
like
episode.
yeah, honestly, there's not a lot of things that the show, in my opinion, does better than the game. But
Mm.
the insight and the getting into the psyche of Joel at this point in time was something that they did do better than the game because you really don't get a good you don't get into Joel's feelings that much in the video game. So I think this is the one thing that I could praise the show in getting a better fleshed out Joel. That's why I liked episode 6 a lot, especially Pedro Pascal's performance. It was phenomenal. I think we both gave it in our review that never came out. We both gave it a 4 out of 5, right? For
Yeah,
episode 6.
I got 4 out of 5 is what I gave it.
Yeah, 4 out of 5, which of course the ending of episode 6, kind of a cliffhanger. Joel gets stabbed by a raider. Ellie is forced to save him, and that's where we kind of leave off. And we start episode 7 with, which, yeah, Joel, this whole part, it's in the game, they're in the a garage in this vacant house, and Ellie's trying to save Joel. And he's telling her to leave her. Like, hey, just go back to Tommy. Go back to Tommy because I'm done. Leave me be. But Ellie, she's a fighter. She's not going to leave Joel, especially after they bonded in episode 6. So she's going to try her hardest to save him, and which she does. But in doing so, we get sucked into another flashback episode where we spend 50 plus minutes in the past. And
You said this was part of the game.
yes,
You said
that's
this flashback was part of the game.
there's a DLC that came out after The Last of Us Part 1, and it's called Left Behind. And I believe this is the episode's title as well as Left Behind. I never played it. I know enough about it. I've seen enough footage to know what happens. I wasn't really interested to go back and playing it. And after watching this episode, I've heard there's like a lot of parts that are frame by frame accurate to what happens in that DLC.
Mm.
So yeah, this doesn't make me want to go back and play that DLC, to be honest with you. But we get to the introduction to Ellie. She's like a cadet in training to be a
Fedra officer.
Fedra
Yeah.
officer. She's kind of training. So
I mean, I like this. I like the if there's one thing that I was hoping for, but they never I didn't know if we are gonna get it, and that was the backstory of Ellie. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I thought maybe you knew the backstory of Ellie being the game player of it. So this is a great backstory flashback for viewers to see where Ellie came from. I was really surprised that she was a cadet for Fedra and all that stuff, and that she was training to be, well, they wanted to be an officer, right? So she had that intelligence, and she had the attitude and the leadership, which plays out because I did say that Ellie seems like she's going to be more of the leader ever since the episode 4 with Sam and whatever the kid's name was.
Yeah, episode 6 or
Episode
5, episode
6,
4 or
yeah,
5. Yeah,
yeah,
Sam and Henry.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I like, I'll let you get more into detail before we talk more about it. But yeah, I like this flashback, and it's not off the beaten path as Bill and Frank was, according to you. Not
people
that
loved
far.
episode 3, and that
I
was
did. It
that was
was good.
100% a filler episode.
Yeah.
That's why I really can't knock this episode because, like, yeah, it's faithful to the game, it happens, but I just think it came in the wrong point in time. I mean, we are 7 episodes deep, and once again, I think this episode just sucked the momentum out of the show for me. I saw the episode preview, so I knew we were going to get a flashback with meeting Riley and everything, and I hope it would have been shorter, more condensed, and maybe cut in between what was happening in real time. But no, we are completely transported back to this time where she's a cadet and her friend, her BFF Riley comes back after she's been missing, and they bond. It's a love story. It's another love story like episode 3, and we're forced to watch the whole damn thing play out.
Yeah.
And I honestly was
The
bored.
mall was cool. The mall, you got to give it up. Seeing the mall was cool and
That's the only thing.
post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, that's the only thing I enjoyed about it, to be honest with you. Is like we got
Yeah.
to hang out in a mall.
There was a
That's,
lot of free advertisement in that.
yeah,
You saw Foot Locker. What else did we see? We saw some sporting goods up in there.
yeah.
Victoria's Secret was on there.
Mortal Kombat 2. That was probably my
Mortal
favorite part
Kombat
of the
2.
episode is when Ellie and Riley are bonding, playing Mortal Kombat 2.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was probably my favorite part of the episode. And that awakens the one clicker that's roaming around. But here's one of my flaws of the show so far is that Ellie and Riley, they jumpstart this whole mall, electricity, lights, sounds all over the place. And only one clicker is around to hear all this. I mean, the one thing I wish the series would, portray better is the sense of danger and the threat of this world, because this episode would have been fine if there was, like I said, a little bit more action or suspense to it, because it was pretty predictable. Even if I knew it was going to happen, but it was still pretty predictable that something was going to go down because they're hanging out in this mall, and then they introduced that clicker that was awake. So you knew something was going to happen, but
That is true. We didn't really see much of that. Episode 4, there's really no clickers or infected. Episode 5, there was. Episode 6, there wasn't. Episode 7, there was one.
But just to have a threat, like, I'm supposed to be scared to live in this world, and there's a lot of like communities, there's a lot of like structure to this world. Like, is it really the end of the world? Because other than episode 1, 2, and 5, like the danger of the infected and clickers, I'm just not feeling it in this world. They introduced that whole hive mind element, remember, with like the fungi and the vines. They introduced that concept in episode 2,
Right.
and never really played around with it. It's like a missed opportunity. Like, they could have brought that back in this episode. So, we get they're bonding again. They're being, teenagers falling in love in this time where love doesn't exist. I want to say it feels like episode 3 all over again. We're just hanging out in a mall. You get like a nice carousel scene, but we get Ellie discovering the escalator, and she's reacting to all this stuff she's never seen, which that's been the whole series. Like, how many times do I have to watch Ellie be excited to discover something new? This is episode 7. Like, I'm ready for shit to start hitting the fan, and we're just forced to get sucked into this CW-esque love story, a flashback episode, which, I was just bored. I was bored. I felt it sucked the momentum out of the show, because I thought we were going to get introduced to another storyline that happens in the game. But judging from the preview for episode 8, I believe, I think we're going to get it next episode. I wish it was this episode, and there was a way to maybe condense the flashbacks with what's going to happen, because I just didn't think we needed a whole flashback 50-minute episode to get this story across with her meeting Riley. And really the main part of this episode for me that hits is like the last 10 minutes when
the clicker.
the clicker and Ellie and Riley are they get their first kiss. You know, they're falling in love, and then all hell breaks loose because the dumb thing that they did was jump starting a mall and not keeping their guard up. You just can't keep your guard down no matter what. So
Yeah,
I
I'll
guess
agree
they
with you that that last 10 minutes was the best part of the show and everything. But I mean, I said it back in season episode 3 with or episode 4 with Bill and Frank, where I said, you know, you hated it, but I said that filler episode, it was basically a whole meaning for Joel to maybe understand that his role about, you know, keeping Ellie alive and bringing him here. This one was more about letting the viewers know and letting Ellie remember as she comes back to reality, that trying to save someone that she loved in Riley, and she couldn't because of the bite, and now she's frantically trying to save Joel because of a stabbing wound. So I mean, they're using these long episodes to send a message. You know, it's like this is just a message for Ellie, like having an emotion. She's in her feelings. I gotta save my best friend, but they're using this long episodes to do it. So I can understand the frustration, but
yeah, like I said, I mean, that's why I didn't like it, but also I can't knock it because it's faithful to the game. And you know me, I like when it's faithful to the source material. But at this point in time, episode 7, I think there was a better way to do it without having a whole 50 plus minute episode dedicated to this one story. Where really, like you said, the last 10 minutes is what mattered. Is when you see the contrast of her, seeing her best friend get infected, and it intercuts with her frantically searching for like medical supplies to save Joel, which she does find something in that bacon house, and finds that needle or whatever, like an
yeah,
unsterilized
so
needle, and she's
yeah, Barry sews up his wound and everything. So
yeah. So seeing that and seeing Joel's reaction as he's close to death there, that was the one part of the episode where I was like, okay, we just went through 50 minutes of that love story just to get to this part. Was it worth it? I guess just for that last like
they're
five
definitely
minutes.
stretching it. They're definitely stretching out the show.
Yeah. For
So
me,
is this going into 12 episodes now?
no, it's 9 episodes.
Nine
It's
episodes?
nine
There's
episodes.
two
So we
more
got two
episodes to
more
go.
left. Two more left. And after episodes 5 and 6, this episode 7 sucked all the momentum out of the show for me. So they're going to have to build it up again. And they have to hit it, knock it out of the park with episode 8. Which, if they're faithful to what happens in the game, we're due for some interesting storytelling. Hopefully, the execution is good and they could build up some
So
suspense and action because that's what I need. You could call me heartless. You could
no,
call me like a man child, and because I want to see action and violence, but I can only take so many slow filler episodes where it's all character driven. I want to be rewarded with some action and violence. Call me a simpleton,
where
but I
are
need it.
we? So we're in we're in the flashback of the DLCs, like you said. Where are we gameplay wise? Are we
We're
halfway through the
close.
game,
We're
or are
close.
we close to the end of the
We're
game?
close to the end, which is weird because
So we're
next,
looking at maybe just the end of season 1, and then that's it. We're done. There's no
yeah, I
season 2.
mean, this is what I'm scared about because I think I saw the run times. Someone in the comment section correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the runtime for episode 8 will be around an hour, like 50 minutes, 50 plus minutes. But
Mhm.
then the finale, I'm not sure if this is correct, but I think I saw somewhere that the season finale is only going to be 45 minutes long, which has me pretty worried. It has me worried because usually when you go towards the season finale, you end it with a longer episode. So if this is true that the season finale is going to be 45 minutes, has me a little worried. They got a lot to do because even though it's close to the end, there's still a lot that happens. So my guess is they skip the action. They're going to skip a lot of cool action set pieces that, I would like to see. But
Mhm.
this is the show version. We're not going to get that. This is more of a character driven, introspective look into characters in the apocalypse. So,
That would make sense. I mean, they're already in Eastern Colorado. Joel has to
yeah,
deliver her to
Salt Lake
um,
City.
Salt Lake City, which is
Yeah.
what probably a week ride on the horse or something like that, and and the
Yeah.
show wise. So he delivers her. They work on her, and end of show, end of series.
You'll see.
Probably.
You'll see. If they stay faithful to what happens, you'll see the plot turns and twists that might happen or may not happen. But Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the show is becoming a chore for me to watch with these type of episodes because I just know, in my opinion, that there's a way better version of what I'm watching out there, and that's the video game. Like just knowing that that exists and that I find it way more intriguing and better while still having all the character driven moments in the video game. And then I have to go to this show where it's all character driven with no action, no violence, no infected monsters or whatever. I'm just like, all right, let's just finish this thing through. Let's just
Yeah, I
finish it
called it.
through.
I called it. I called it back in episode 2. I called it back in episode 5. I called it. I was like this. I'm going to be disappointed. And I was really, and I tried to be optimistic about this thing.
You
But
like this episode more than me. I think you
yeah,
actually
I
might.
mean, I'm a fan of good character development. I'm a fan of good acting, so I can appreciate it. But all in all, the series itself, yeah, kind of a bore fest, really, when you put it all
It's
together.
I've
I love Pedro Pascal, and I've become a fan of Bella Ramsey. I gotta appreciate and respect her acting and all that stuff. But
which
overall, the series, like I said, yeah, it's snail pace. Um, not not it's definitely not House of Dragon. I'll tell you that
I
right now. That if this was
yeah
the
yeah.
next big series coming out of HBO to follow House of Dragon, it's kind of a
I,
downward.
I don't know. A lot of people love this show. It's got a lot of momentum, even though I'm not really feeling it. Like I said, this is kind of a chore for me to watch at this point. But the next two episodes, especially next episode, it's got to bring me back. It's got to bring me back because episode 7 brought me out. It just sucked all the life out of me and all the momentum out of the show for me. But I mean, the acting was all right. Storm Reed, who plays Riley, I thought she was okay. Bella Ramsey, she was good. Um, is it so? Is she going to be enough to carry this series? Like, we'll see.
I don't
Like
know. I'm
without Pedro Pascal, is Bella Ramsey enough to carry this series? Is what I'm wondering.
The best
So
thing about this series for me so far, it's just killing time until all the great March movies come out.
yes,
Then
I,
that's
I
it.
yes, you're right. I
Course,
can't wait till we start getting to some good entertainment in March. I mean, I don't know if we're going to be reviewing Creed, but 65, Shazam, John Wick 4, we got some good entertainment coming out in March. So after this series is done putting me to sleep, we're going to get some good movies coming out. So let's just give our rating. Let's just give
mhm.
our rating to episode
Okay.
7 of The Last of Us. I'm going 2 out of 5. I'm going 2 out of 5.
I'll go mid on this one. I'll go 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
Only because of the last 10 minutes with the clicker, that had yeah, actually had some meaning into it, where it's like, okay, we actually see Ellie get bit, and hopefully that will play into the next episode about her seeing that she's been immune to this thing the whole time. And like I said, I can appreciate character development and good acting, which they did. So I can appreciate that. I'll give it 3 out of 5.
Yeah, people are gonna hate me on this one. I'm sticking with 2 out of 5. Yeah, like you said, we really didn't see the ending of what happens to Riley and Ellie in that flashback, and I think in the game it's kind of ambiguous as well. They kind of just cuddle in the corner, and you're forced to use your imagination to what happens next. Does she turn and then Ellie kills her? Will the show actually depict that and maybe use that flashback and bring it up once again in a different scenario before the series or season finale? We'll see. It'd be interesting to see how that scene plays out. I am curious to see how, like, really what happens to Riley and how Ellie deals with her at the
Yeah, me
end.
too. Me too. But 2 episodes left to go.
2 episodes left to go, and it better bring
And
it.
then March movies come out, and we have something more entertaining with Smiles to talk about.
Yes, thank God, because I need some better entertainment to watch. Please wake me up. March Madness, March Movie Madness, it's coming up. But all right, Dustin, you want anything else to say before we sign off on this review of The Last of Us episode 7?
No, it is what it is, and it is what it is. Really, nothing. There's no ups, no downs. It's just
Yeah, I
that's it
can't
with
call
us.
it a terrible show, but I can't really call it a great show, even though there's some great moments. Just too far and in between, there's really nothing. It's a
I'm pretty
wasteland.
sure at the end of the year when we do the best things we saw in 2023, this will be off my list.
It's not going to be on my list.
Yeah.
As soon as the series ends, I'm going to forget about it. I'll
Yeah,
be honest with you.
definitely forgettable. That's a good way of saying it's forgettable.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how it ends. So, all right, everyone. That's our episode 7 review of The Last of Us. Post down in the comment section below what you thought of episode 7. What would you rate it? What do you think of this series so far? Are you a fan of it? Do you prefer the video game over it? I'm interested to see what you guys think out there. So, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you like this channel and what we do, please subscribe to this channel as well. Ring that notification bell, and we'll see you all next time. See ya.